Many thanks, Abosede. The Director, Institute of Capital Market Studies, Nasarawa State University, KEFI, is also the President of Capital Market Academics of Nigeria, Professor Uche Owaleke, says the federal government's efforts aimed at stabilizing the nation's economy is gradually becoming a reality. Professor Owaleke disclosed this while reacting to the September headline inflation report as put out by the National Bureau of Statistics and just concluded IMF World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., applauding Nigeria for its ongoing economic reforms.
There's no doubt that the reforms are beginning to yield results. There's no doubt that the macroeconomic environment is beginning to stabilize. Again, it's a no-brainer. Even critics would agree that as far as Nigeria's economy is concerned, the worst, appears to be over. So we have relative stability now. Talking about, for example, moderation in inflation rate, as I said earlier on, we have seen that happen consistently for the past 6 months. So that's disinflation, as it were. And again, let me even mention this. If you check that MBS report, okay, for the very first time, we are beginning to see in the MBS report what we call deflation. Deflation is where you have negative inflation rates. So if you check the state profiles, okay, where you have a month-on-month basis, on month-on-month basis, the general inflation even fell, by minus 1.57%. So that's deflation, month-on-month. So between August and September, we actually saw, drop in prices.
Well, Nigeria and Norway are deepening their trade relations with a focus on strengthening seafoods and stockfish trade ties that dates back more than a century. At a one-day seminar in Lagos, both countries reaffirmed their commitment to promoting sustainable trade and supporting local fishery development. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunaya Eze has the report.
Key stakeholders from Nigeria's seafood and stockfish industry gathered for an interactive seminar hosted by the Norwegian Seafood Council. The meeting brought together importers, government regulators, and customs officials to explore new ways of improving trade efficiency and ensuring fair market access.
What started as a trade relationship many decades ago has now grown into something much deeper symbol of cultural connection and mutual benefit. This is not just a story of commerce, it's a story of cultural exchange.
If we can cooperate more with the Nigerians and do investments and improve the trade, it will be a benefit for both. We could increase the production. We could have better product. We could have more production also in Nigeria.
The seminar also provided a platform for renewed discussions on policy support, including a fresh appeal to the federal government for a 0% duty on stockfish heads, at least for a limited period.
We've been working towards getting zero duty on stockfish heads, not for the Norwegian industry actually. It's for the consumers here in Nigeria and for people to have access to healthy and good quality food for an accessible price.
Beyond trade, Norway says it remains committed to the continued support for Nigeria's fishery development.
In the coming year, we'll embark on the training of fish farmers and government officers in fisheries. Right now, Nigeria's product is banned from international trade simply because of documentation, sustainability, and the quality assurance. So this we intend to leverage on to complement the last training we did for the fish farmers and the fisheries officers in Nigeria.
As both countries look to the future, the seminar marks another milestone in strengthening bilateral relations, blending Norway's seafood expertise with Nigeria's growing ambition to boost local production and export potential. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
The conversation around the growth of Africa's hydrocarbon resources must focus on building trust, attracting sustainable investment, and uplifting communities and protecting the environment. That was a message at the International Conference on Hydrocarbon which held in Abuja. Helen Osamide Kings reports.
Africa has more than 125 billion barrels of proven oil reserves and over 620 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, making it one of the most resource-rich regions in the world. In recent years, Nigeria has seen significant upstream recovery and legislative reforms aimed at boosting production and attracting investment. Despite this growth, more than 600 million Africans still lack access to electricity, and environmental degradation continues to impact host communities. This disconnect has sparked urgent calls for a new approach, one that ensures the continent's hydrocarbon wealth translates into real benefit for its people. At this conference, speakers emphasized that in achieving this, ethical governance is not optional, but foundational to Africa's energy future.
It's not geology that failed us. It is governance, or rather, the lack of it. For decades, the promise of Africa's vast resource wealth has been eroded by weak institutions, opaque practices, and missed opportunities. But a new dawn has emerged.
To realize this central role, we must adopt a model of development that is not borrowed from elsewhere, but built by us and for us.
This conference brought together policymakers, industry leaders, researchers, and civil society, focusing on how to harness Nigeria's vast oil and gas resources in a way that delivers lasting values for its people.
While we aim to increase output, while we also aim to diversify our downstream petrochemical base, as well as attract investment, we must ensure that the growth in the ecosystem it must benefit our people and our communities and contributes to decarbonization pathways and global energy transition.
The Petroleum Trading Institute recommends early commissioning of the Africa Energy Bank to enable energy access for African countries, promoting economic growth and reducing energy poverty.
With the right policies and ethical leadership, Africa's oil and gas resources can fuel not just growth, but shared prosperity and long-term sustainability. Helen Osamide Akins, TVC News, Abuja.